Hey, Mamacita, Mama Sucker.
Oh God. Hey, this is JonGravesshow. I'm Dayshawn for the DayshawnRShow. And I already did this review already with Chris, but
and fucked it up.
Chris just be, man, he be everywhere. He should be everywhere.
So we are here to give you an accurate review of Luke Cage. So how should we proceed? Well, now I'm trying to do this thing in my series now where I have a little bit of structure in terms of my series reviews. So let's start this thing off, interestingly enough, with story. So, yes. Starting this thing off, the story of Luke Cage is surprisingly actually super fucking accurate to the comics in terms of how Luke Cage ended up in jail, how he got his powers. Not necessarily like even the villains he fight. I do like the change in how that they did most of the problems in the story, because again, this one, it does take place right after Jessica Jones, of him going over to Harlem, kind of working in a barbershop with pretty much like this parental figure of the neighborhood who is known as Pops. Not necessarily because he's older, but because he used to whip ass so hard when he was young, snap, crackle, pop motherfuckers, and then that's how he got his name. And of course, that's pretty much the story. It does turn more into sort of like a blaxploitation thing of them talking more about him being a black man in a hoodie, being a hero and stuff like that. And man, he did mention that, man, in his freestyle, and slowly the story kind of goes from a guy who just has unbreakable skin, just trying to do the right thing, to it slowly starting going from that to turning into a story about, okay, it's just a normal guy who does have unbreakable skin, who's trying to make a difference in his neighborhood, which that you have these essentially drug pushers and stuff like that who that he has to stop, and it's all it's all for the citizens and the people. I like the way how that they push it, but sometimes it feels a bit forced. So in short, the story, black guy pretty much becoming one with his community. I like it. Not all that bad, but it's okay. You want to move on to section 2, or do you have some stuff for story?
Nah, go ahead.
Moving into section 2, characters. Okay, so how do you feel about Luke Cage?
Before I dive into Luke Cage characters, it's that racist thing that they were throwing out. They were like, there are too many blacks. They uncomfortable. Watching it, they don't, it's just too black for it. I was just sitting there thinking about this, like, okay, some of the cops are white. The psychologist who ever talked to Misty, he too was white. Not to mention the one that was located where Luke Cage was, he was white as well. What I'm saying is, there are white characters in this show. But
you have Scarf, you have the scientist, you have that prison guard, you have Luke Cage. Chico was Hispanic. You also have fucking Shades, who's also Hispanic. So
there's a lot of white characters in this show too.
There's also a lot of Hispanics as well.
Maybe they're looking at it as the fact that there was no main supporting cast of a white person. And
aside from Scarf?
Yeah, besides him, he got killed off though.
Yeah.
The thing is, they there ain't no white people. I just feel like all the shows you guys have, and we don't say shit. I mean, it be minority or white people all the goddamn time.
Luke Cage and
majority.
For Jessica Jones, I think that they had the two black people in that one was Malcolm and Luke Cage. So
everybody else white.
Just about.
Yeah, besides the woman that Luke Cage was fucking. I think
she was black.
Wasn't her husband was white, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
You see what we mean right here, right?
Actually, I think he was
Hispanic or something.
I think he was Indian.
Yeah, no, but he wasn't black.
Either that or he was from.
I'm quite sure Daredevil got a lot of white characters in it.
Yes, it does. A lot of them. But pretty much moving on, how do you feel about Luke Cage, the character?
As the actual character, he's more like he's very humble, calm, collective. He seems like he do got his own sense of judging, which might give him a good talking to.
How do you like him compared to the Spider-Man Ultimate one? You know, he's Power Man.
At least he don't get smacked around like the bitch smack one good time and fly that way.
At least he's not the bitch of the team, so...
Yeah, I mean,
hey.
He just fly, or he just get bitch smacked and fly the opposite way like he ain't nothing, man.
Cottonmouth. Or pretty much Cornell.
You know, he don't feel like a villain. He's just like, seems like a kid that got thrown in a bad situation of racing. He want to do something else with his life, but his damn mom or his auntie just forced the goddamn family damn name and the product that they were selling onto him.
Like they just pushed the business on them.
Here you go, man. You're gonna be a kingpin. You're gonna run this empire. You're gonna run the cartel. You're gonna run our cartel. You're gonna do it.
Even though you have all this talent, you know, of playing the piano, you don't need that. You need to worry about the business. That is where you're supposed to be at. But then again, there's something to how violent he is that I actually kind of like, to wish that it actually, well, most characters in series, when they're super violent, you usually feel as though that it doesn't really play a part in their character. But for some reason, it kind of defines him as being he actually believes in order, and he believes in okay, I have like a strong set of rules in terms of you don't mess with Pops. You don't mess with Pops' diner. You don't do this stuff, and you don't go behind my back. You don't steal my money, and even in the first episode when pretty much he killed those dude with his bare hands, you feel as though it's not say most people, they would have just shot him or they would have had somebody else do it, you know. Whereas
he made that shit personal.
Where he just beat him to death with his own hands of saying okay, I'm gonna treat you like a man now, and I'm not gonna beat on you and leave you alive, you know, like somebody who I disrespect. I'm gonna beat you to death like a man because you stood up to me. Okay, you know what you did. So I kind of like how they took the violence with him and actually made that part a part of his character, which kind of transitions me over to his cousin Maria.
I ain't got nothing to say about that bitch. Go ahead, you on that one.
I like the change in which that they did. I like the change in which that they did.
But then he had a little smash though. But go ahead, keep talking.
Sure thing, Shades. But I do like the change versus how they did in the comic, because they did do Cottonmouth better. Instead of him just being an old guy man with fucking sharp ass teeth, he's just a reliable kingpin. Okay, cool. His cousin, on the other hand, for early on, it's interesting how they kind of made their how they had their aunt, was it Mama Mabel? It's there's a very
her mama though.
It's a very interesting thing about how they later on showed the transition between her and pretty much Mama Mabel, and saying that okay, she's I don't want to be a part of this. This isn't me. Okay, I'm not a criminal. But then as you see all the violent shit going on around her, she doesn't flinch at it. Her cousin, on the other hand, when he had to kill their uncle and shit, it's she didn't flinch at that shit. She was just, you know what you did. You shouldn't have.
Wow, she like an everyday thing. Somebody got shot right in front of me. Oh well.
Even when
it's life. Even when he was drugged nonchalantly and walked away. Damn.
Even when what's the name was Stryker was in there killing the mob bosses and shit, she didn't flinch at that either. She was like,
we don't get to Stryker in a minute. I got a lot to say about that child. Okay, and going to Misty.
I only have about 3 more characters talking about Misty. And Misty is one of them, okay?
They go to Misty, though.
Okay.
She gave him some chocolate.
First day, on the job, Say, do you know what her say? Do you know what made me laugh about like one little interesting thing about her character that did make me laugh, and it was the reason why is because even though when our man was like in a dress showing off my cleavage, he didn't even look at that. He looked me directly in my face, and because of that, you fucked him the same day.
I like damn. So all I do is keep eye contact with a bitch. I got it.
And just ask her, say, hey girl. Say, you want to go out for some coffee, and then just have sex with him.
Like immediately. I'm like, God damn, okay.
Of course, that's just what happens.
That shit crazy though, man.
I do like how like that they kept trying later on. It felt like that they were trying to turn her into her comic book persona, because the comic book version of Misty Knight, she actually has a robotic arm. So that's kind of why, man, they kept making comments like, okay, you keep doing that, you're gonna lose that arm. It's like, is she gonna lose it or not? Like, come on.
Not to mention that she could piece the stuff together and actually figure out how things happen. Like,
she is old boy from Boondock Saints.
I just sitting there like, everybody looking like, this bitch okay? What's she looking at? And she could piece everything up. She know it's my lying, and not to mention, she believed Luke Cage when nobody else would believe in her.
She also thought, well, however, early on she did kind of flip flop with the community though. So, like I kind of like it though. I kind of like what they're doing with it. So it doesn't feel it doesn't feel fucked up or anything. It's more or less like, you know what their motivation is, and then move on.
All right.
2 more characters that I gotta talk about, and one of them is Shades. How do you go first. You go first.
You know what? Shades, I like him as a character because, you know, at first he was clean hands until we started killing the child people.
I actually like him too.
But Chris was in love with that guy. I was looking at Chris like,
I like.
Oh my God! Don't kill him! Don't do it! I'm looking at Chris like,
I like Shades because
man, you okay?
I don't know what's going on, man, with your boy, but I like Shades because he is technically the ultimate henchman. He is like, he has judgments like a boss, but then he kind of actually has the authority and the skill to say, listen, I am ultra loyal to pretty much whoever I work with, and I bring them grade A results.
Right.
I like that about him. However, there's one thing though that always kind of got me early on, was that I wanted him to get his hands dirty more. That's it.
He did that normally at the end, like we got Zip Punk and I was so happy when he died. I can't stand Zip. I'm like, kill this nigga.
Because Zip Man was a wannabe Shades. I'm like, Zip, you are not Shades, okay? Shade.
And Sugar was really Sugar, man, when he ran off like that. He was scared, like,
Oh yeah. There's one. There's an honorable mention. I like Turk. Turk is the greatest motherfucker in the series because the bald black dude who, man, was Zip Man, was trying to kiss up the Striker and shit, and he's like, this motherfucker's stupid as hell. Like, what the fuck, man?
Well, ain't nobody boy. I swear ain't nobody bitch. Remember that. I like when he say ain't no door can hold me back. That nigga threw that nigga off the damn roof though. I'm still on that. Nothing humble a man like gravity.
I like that.
I love that. Like
lines in this series are really good, but finally though, because I really can't say too much about Shades. The only real complaint that I have about him is that I just wanted him to get his hands dirty more, and also I kind of wanted him and Luke Cage to kind of have a confrontation back when they were in Seagate. They really didn't have it. It was just more or less like, I know who that is. And it was like, oh, he knows who I am, and then that's kind of, man, where they end that at, But
he do? It ended.
That's pretty much about it, man. Like, it's not, man, no thing of him going after him, man, for putting him in the hospital or almost killing him. None of that shit. It was just, oh wait, I know him, and then just that's it, But finally, we get to Stryker. What's wrong with Stryker?
I don't know. He don't feel like a very good villain to me, to be honest with you. Your whole... It's like jealousy.
You mean...
The jealousy of that he got the Lucas name. Jealous that he was the miracle baby. It just hand off him because he got power. I'm like, that's your motivation to be a villain?
Well, he hates his brother.
Like,
a lot.
You know what I'm saying? some last luck in building. Like, why? You should kill it just because you were a jealous little kid?
That's like JJ getting mad at you because, man, like... Because, man, like, if you both had different last names and shit, and then, man, like, he hated you because, man, like, you had the Smith last name, and he had his father's last name.
I'm a Maccabee, man. I hate you.
That's sort of how that pretty much boiled down. However, I do like him a little bit in terms of him being a enforcer, because again, when he came in, he rules every scene he's in, because again, when he first comes in, he's spouting lines from the fucking Warriors. Can you dig it? You know, come out to play. Oh, that is cool. I mean, like, for some, like, those lines are lame as fuck, but for some reason he made it interesting. I guess possibly because, like, he had, like, the only thing that could actually hurt Luke, but I guess at that point, like, you can say whatever the fuck you want and come off threatening. You know, I just ate a big plate of macaroni and cheese. Like, what the fuck?
Not to mention how you can completely go in and take down 4 goddamn kingpins like that.
The Japanese, the Haitians, the fucking...
And one more thing, how niggas running the warehouse trying shooting at him, and he managed to get to a suit and destroy him.
He had a Luke Cage suit in the bag.
I'm like, this guy a monster. It just, I do not like his motivation.
God damn it, Domingo.
Domingo, huh? You fuck up. You know what? You forgot about Claire. But
Claire is the same as she was in Daredevil as she is here. The only difference is that she was planning on giving Luke Cage the pussy. That's it.
Yeah, he like it's a Colombian coffee.
That's it. Okay, he's about to get some of that. He's about to get.
At first,
was fucking the shit out of out of Jessica Jones. So that's what the fuck is going on. So
Luke Cage fuck everybody. He a whore.
Of course he is. So let's pretty much move this on to pretty much the message of the series. Which pretty much this is the ass end of pretty much the series, which is how this series could probably work today.
They actually show off like cop brutality toward black people. And you know, like the whole thing with Trayvon Martin, the hoodie person, a hood person could be a guy with a hood on. Can actually be a hero and actually not be a bad guy.
Well, they do say it a lot, and it does get annoying, but it does have
they got police brutality in here too.
It does have a realistic connotation of today, of saying like, okay, like would you see a whole bunch of people walking down the street, man, like wearing like holes and hoodies and shit, man, like to pretty much support this black hero? I think people would actually do that today.
And not to mention that they show basically what black people lack: the ability to work together and become a team, become a unit, unite us. And that actually united us. It was this strong figure that united black people.
That did actually kind of stand up to some of the more corrupt people, like in our community. So of course, you know, like it works out perfectly.
Yeah,
pretty much I can see it working today. However, that doesn't necessarily say like what is supposed to happen in the future for the Defenders series and also Iron Fist. So it's very difficult to say how those.
I can't wait to see Iron Fist. I ain't gonna lie.
I can't wait for Iron Fist too. Oh, speaking of which, we got to talk about that too, because not only one trailer came out, two of them came out. The one that you sent me was actually the first trailer. They labeled it as 2 for some reason, but it was the first one.
Some people don't like the fact
that he's an Asian dude. He's a white dude in China, like learning martial arts, and is the Iron Fist. Mm-hmm. Well, that's the fucking source material. Leave it alone. But we got to talk about that in a separate video, though.
Yeah.
But for Luke Cage, it does a good job in terms of making you feel empowered as a black man. So I will give it that. But like in terms of like what it's supposed to do later on, I don't know. However, I do hope but this one, it does set up the heroes for hire. So that is something. There's nothing in that bottle.
No, I thought like a fall right there, bounce and they hit that, and then that would have failed. I just say,
fucking mousetrap.
Like bloop, bloop. I'm like, oh hell no. That's some Acme type shit. But anyway,
so do you recommend Luke Cage to watch?
Yeah, Luke Cage is a 9 out of 10 all day.
Same.
It don't get a 10 because the villain suck. I mean, it's lackluster. You cannot have that motivation like that.
Actually, it felt like a really good setup for something.
It'd been better like in Cornell, what actually the villain that actually, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause he will, you know, they build him up. Like, okay, then Sprinkles came out of nowhere.
It does kind of have that feeling.
Back.
Of course, like it does have like a good setup, man, in terms of like what's supposed to be going on with all those things. But then, you know, like it kind of falls like underneath, man, like that stupid superhero shit. Like people are still shooting him with regular machine guns and handguns when they know that it's not gonna do shit to him, and they just constantly shooting them. Like stupid shit like that really does, man, kind of like.
Just shoot him in the eye.
That may not even they may not even work.
You can close it, that skin hit it.
No, man. Like, what's the name said that his organs and shit, like the eyeball is an organ. Like that shit is just as hard, man, like as his skin. So it's like at that point, like you can't really do anything. The only reason, man, why she saved him in Jessica Jones is because she had to go through, because she had to go behind, man, the fucking eyelid and get at that shit. You know. Sort of like, man, when they had to get his blood for this one, which that they had to get it from like deep, man, like in his esophagus and shit. So you think about that, and it's like, well, it's a little bit difficult to try and save his ass, you know. But other than that, I do recommend this series. You recommend the series, right? Please, internet, tell us how do you feel about this down there in the comment section. How do you feel about like the brand new layered system of us talking about it in sections and shit, rather than being all everywhere with the shit. So please tell us what do you think about this down there in the comment section. This is my friend Dayshawn R. Smith, and please check out his channel. There will be a link for that over in the cards and shit, and and the link somewhere. So yeah, we'll see you on the next Jongravesshow. We'll see you on the next DayshawnRShow. Please keep watching anime, keep playing video games.
And we out.
This has been Recap Corner. I'm out. Hello, internet. Hopefully you loved that video, and pretty much you do feel the same way that I do about it. Because if you agree with me or you pretty much disagree, please leave me a comment. Follow me up on my other social media, you know, like Twitter and all the rest of the other stuff, which I'll kind of have to get back into. But also, if you like this video, please go ahead and hit the like button and share this video with some of your friends. Till then, though, please click over right over here or over there, and you can go ahead and check out my latest video. So, see you.